Hello, Virgo. You already sensed something was off, and I want to start there, not with the dramatic promise of secrets being exposed, that framing I'll come back to honestly, but with you, with the specific, quiet, persistent sense you've been carrying that something in a particular situation wasn't fully visible to you. That sense is worth acknowledging. Because Virgo's perception doesn't invent problems, doesn't manufacture suspicion out of nothing. When you've been feeling that something isn't quite adding up, that the presented version of a person or situation has gaps in it, inconsistencies, places where the story doesn't quite cohere, that feeling is almost always pointing at something real. Not necessarily something dramatic, but something. Let me be honest about something before I go further. The idea that secrets are being cosmically exposed, that some external force is pulling back curtains on hidden things, that's a framing I want to treat carefully. Because I think the more accurate description of what actually happens is quieter than that. Truth surfaces, not because it's forced, because it can't stay contained indefinitely, because people who are carrying things, who are managing the gap between what they're presenting and what's actually true, eventually find that gap expensive to maintain, eventually make a mistake, eventually can't sustain the energy required to keep two versions of reality running simultaneously, and the cracks appear, small ones first, then larger. And someone with your perceptual precision notices the cracks. Hold on, because I want to describe what hidden actually means in this context, since I think it's rarely as dramatic as the word suggests. Most of what people hide isn't villainy, it's vulnerability, the specific, very human tendency to conceal the parts of themselves they're uncertain about, the feelings they haven't fully examined, the wanting they haven't fully admitted, the fears that feel too exposing to name directly. And what gets hidden in that way, what gets managed into a presentation that doesn't fully represent what's actually happening inside, tends to be the most significant thing. The thing that would change the dynamic if it were known. The thing being protected not because it's shameful, but because it's real enough to be frightening. There's something specific in your love situation that I keep finding. Someone has been managing what they show you, not maliciously, in the specific self-protective way of someone who has identified that what they actually feel, the full unedited version, is more than they currently know how to offer you safely, whose real interior state in relation to you has been edited down, made more casual, given less weight in the presentation than it actually carries in the interior. They've been understating something, and understating is its own kind of hiding, not lying exactly, giving you a version that's true but incomplete. That leaves out the part that would make the truth fully legible. There's an image, an iceberg. The visible portion, the part that's been available to you in your interactions with this person, is real, is genuine, is actually them, but it represents a fraction of the total. And the larger portion, the part below the surface, the part that has been submerged, not through deception, but through the specific combination of fear and self-protection and uncertainty about whether the full version would be received well. That's what's beginning to surface. Not all at once, not dramatically. In the specific gradual way that things move from hidden to visible through behavioral changes, through moments where the management slips slightly, through the accumulation of interactions that make continued hiding more costly than revealing. The more I sit with this, the more I keep finding something about timing. Something has shifted in their circumstances or interior that has changed the calculation. Whatever was making the hiding feel necessary, whatever the specific reason they were presenting, a reduced version, that reason has either resolved or revealed itself as insufficient justification for continuing. And the result is a movement toward honesty. Not a grand confession necessarily. The specific gradual movement of someone who has decided, possibly without fully articulating the decision, that the gap between their interior and their presentation has become uncomfortable enough to start closing. Small movements first. Things they say that carry slightly more weight than usual. Moments of unguarded expression. Times when something real shows through before they've had time to manage it back into the presentation. You'll notice, you've probably already noticed some of it. Wait, I want to say something about what this surfacing actually gives you. Because information is only useful if you receive it clearly, if you're able to see it for what it is, rather than for what you hoped it would be or feared it might be. And what's surfacing here is something that requires your most honest perception, not your most hopeful interpretation, not your most cautious one, the honest one, the one that takes in what's actually being shown without inflation, without deflation, and arrives at an accurate reading of what it means. That's always your greatest asset. Now, more than ever, I want to talk about what you deserve from this, because secrets surfacing, hidden things becoming visible, that process has a destination, and the destination matters. You deserve clarity. Not the dramatic, everything revealed simultaneously clarity of a scene, the real kind, the sustained, conversation by conversation, behavior confirming words kind, that actually builds into genuine understanding of what you're working with. And you deserve to receive that clarity at a pace that allows you to actually integrate it. To not be swept into something by the emotional force of revelation before you've had time to assess what the revelation actually means for you, what you want, what you need, whether what's being revealed is something worth opening further toward. Those questions deserve space. Take the space. The last thing, the secrets being exposed. Let me say what I think is actually true about this. The most significant thing that's being revealed isn't about what someone was hiding from you. It's about what you already knew, what your perception had already identified, what your intuition had been pointing at, what the quiet, persistent, refused to be filed away sense of something not fully visible had been accurately registering. You were right about the incompleteness of what you were seeing, about the existence of something more than what was being presented, about the specific gap between the surface and the interior of this person's experience with you. You were right. And what's coming now is the external confirmation of your own internal accuracy. which is for Virgo, not a small thing. It's the most important thing, the restoration of trust in your own perception. And that trust is worth more than any secret that ever gets revealed. If something in this touched something true, if a moment landed somewhere honest, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Tell me what resonated, even just a few words. It means more than you know.